How long have I been a Freemason? I've been a Freemason since 2018. I was initiated in March, passed a Fellowcraft in April, and raised to a Master Mason in May of 2018 in the Boone Union Lodge number 304. What influenced me to become a Freemason? Well, my brother was the one who really influenced me to become a Freemason. He has been a Mason for over 30 years in Arizona. But ultimately, it was my father that influenced me. My father was a Mason when we were young. He was a 60-year Mason at the Thomas C. Cecil Lodge in Pikeville, Kentucky. I can say that my dad was a good man. And as I became older and learned, I could see how Masonry influenced his life. He was a fine Christian man, and the influences of both of those were easily to be seen, and that's really what influenced me to become a Mason. After becoming a Freemason, was it as what I expected? Yes. I really enjoy the learning part. I've always been a learner. Throughout my career, I attended every class I could get, and I love learning. There's a lot to learn about Masonry. I love the allegories. I love how everything goes together, and it fits into a whole story. So, yeah, I really getting what I expected from that part of Masonry. Tell you about my career. I worked for the same company for 38 years. I started in the very lowest job you could have in a factory. I always wanted to work in a factory. I decided that at the age of 6 years old when I toured the Ford Motor Plant in Dearborn, Michigan, the River Rouge plant. I was just overwhelmed by the technology that I saw even then. And so I went to college in industrial technology. Began working in my career and very soon got into the quality department. I've basically held every job you can have in the quality department, from line supervisor all the way to director of quality of the company I worked for in the heavy truck industry. Can Freemasonry be frustrating? Of course it can. Any endeavor you try to undertake can be frustrating. I sometimes get frustrated with the lack of participation from a lot of Masons, guys that don't come to the lodge at all anymore. I make it a point to try to encourage everybody in our lodge through emails to come. Sometimes those that participate, they don't participate very much. You don't get much action from them. I try to do what I can do, what I'm physically able to do, but what I can mentally do and what I can do to help support my lodge in any way I can, I try to do that. And it can be a little frustrating if others aren't. What do I like most about Freemasonry? The fellowship. In my career, I was always actively involved. I was a trainer, teaching people how to do various aspects of quality control, problem solving, and I missed that fellowship and that activity and social interaction. And after I retired, I really needed something, and Freemasonry really fills that gap for me. I love the fellowship I have. I travel all the time with my friend Joe, and we visited every lodge in our district, and we're working on all the lodges in the next 2 districts now. So, and everywhere I go, I meet new people, and I never meet a stranger in a Masonic lodge. If I could change anything about my lodge, I probably would try to have more members, or at least more of the current members being at the lodge. I don't really know how to do that. I wish I did. I wish I knew how to encourage people to join Masonry. Unfortunately, the current existing generations just don't seem to be joiners, and it's difficult to get new members, and especially since we're not allowed to invite them. I talk about Masonry wherever I go. I'm always telling people what a good time I have as being a Mason. And sometimes we get people who become interested and actually ask how. Tell you about my family. Well, in about another month, I'll have been married 50 years. My wife Frida and I have enjoyed a wonderful life together. We have 4 sons. Never was blessed with a daughter, or maybe never cursed with a daughter. I'm not sure which that is, but I have 4 wonderful sons. They're all grown men. They're involved in their careers and are doing well for themselves, and I'm very proud of them. What would I like to say to future generations of Masons? Be involved, be active, and do everything you can do to support your lodge. Masonry is, we're dwindling in numbers, but I don't think we're dwindling in quality, only quantity. And it's a shame that we are going down like that, but I hope that this trend will change and younger Masons will come along and help grow the fraternity. It is an excellent fraternity. My dad was a veteran. He was served in the Navy in World War II. He was on a very small boat, an LCT. It's a landing craft. He served in the Mediterranean during World War II. They brought sailors in for the invasion of southern France. It happened at the same time as the invasion of Normandy, but you never see any history about it. Dad didn't talk to us very much about being in the Navy, but we had a few pictures of him, and we knew 1 or 2 of his shipmates, and we had some good times talking about him being in the Navy, and I always respected him for that. Do I have any regrets about being a Mason? None whatsoever. I love Masonry. As I mentioned before, I love the symbolism and allegories that we have in Masonry. I like to try to relate those things to my life. If I had any regret at all, it's because I did not join Masonry earlier in my life. My career was very involving. I traveled the world in my career. For 10 years, I worked 2 weeks a month in Detroit. Not one of my favorite places to be. So being able to commit the time that I can commit now to Masonry was just not possible for me then. And I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I just simply explain it that life gets in the way. What do I want my legacy to be? I would hope that my legacy would be that I would be thought of as well as my father. My father has been gone for 10 years now. I still have people that contact me and tell me what a good man they thought he was. People that worked with him on the railroad. Dad was a lifelong railroader. And I meet people today even that still remember my dad, even though he's been retired for almost 25 years. So I would hope that I would be thought of as good a man as my dad was.